Hello everybody, I'm back. A new build. Me and the cat. And we are going to take what I've done before, this old saw blade, and we're going to make it. First thing you want to do is figure out what type of blade you want to make. You can see some of the blades that I made earlier. Today I'm looking for something that will help me with whittling wood. My big knife works, but it's awful bulky. So what I want to do is get something with a decent strong handle to it, but maybe a shorter blade. Maybe something like this. With a finger thing on it. That's where I would press my thumb. I always like guards. That's to keep my hand from slipping up to the blade. And then something about here. A little palm swell. Alright, so this will be my shaving edge. This whole thing will be sharp. This will be the handle. Two things you're going to want to get for your 4.5 inch grinder, which I'm using. And first thing is a cutting wheel. Those are the thin ones. The thicker ones are the grinding wheel. And one of the things you have to watch out for is the heat when you're cutting. So along the blade line, you want to leave a little room. You're going to sharpen that blade down with files and stones. If you cut along the line, the heat from the grinder is going to temper that edge. Now, this is the stock removal method. These are already hardened steel. It's the old style saws, so it's good quality steel, but it's not you don't need a forge in order to do this. And I'm not looking to do anything fancy with the knife. It's going to be a functional knife, and if it works, you did it the right way. So let's get grinding. Let's go through the tools you're going to need to make a knife. Obviously, I took this off a kid's egg-shaped chalk. You're going to want to cut, or draw your outline. You're going to need steel. I got 2 C-clamps. I know I got 2 C-clamps. The other one is over there. 4.5 inch grinder. A cutting grinder wheel and a grinder wheel. Epoxy, that's for the handle. 1/4 inch brass bar that you can cut your pins from to put in your handle to hold the handle on. All this stuff came from Ace Hardware except this. This came from either Lowe's or Home Depot. It was a long time ago. This I actually got for free in exchange for piling wood. So I piled wood for somebody who had this thing hanging in the garage, and I took that basically in exchange. Oh, and you gotta have a bushcraft hat. You're also gonna need eye protection, and that metal is gonna get hot. Wear gloves. The other thing is, watch where the sparks are gonna go. My first time doing this, I actually set my pants on fire. So yeah. Yeah. That was scary. But watch where the sparks fly. And I'm going to cut that out with the grinder. Now you can see where I went right along the edge on the handle. That part I'm not worried about being hardened. Same thing with the other side of the handle. The only part I'm worried about the temperament, is on the blade itself. So just cut the whole thing out and leave some space by the blade so that the heat doesn't mess with the temper on the metal. So I'm going to cut the rest of that out and I'll be back. So I've got the handle and the blade kind of roughly cut out. Before I take it off that plate, I'm going to grind with my grinding stone. This turns out to be just almost a 1/4 inch wide, which is perfect for the brass pins. So if I grind on the middle, and it leaves a gaping in the middle where the pins will go on each end and hold the handle. Here's the groove I was talking about. It's pretty thick, but it's in the handle, and it got really hot, but it's away from the blade, so I'm not too worried about it. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut the whole rough out, and we'll work on that knife. Okay, stay tuned. I put a thumb thing right there to help me cut with. This is going to be all cleaned up, rounded off, and I don't know if I should film that or not, but watch. There it is. Obviously watch the heat on the blade part, but cleaned up pretty good. Still pretty hot. But we'll go ahead, file that down. We're going to round this off a little bit. That don't look bad. We'll put the bevel on there. There's going to be one here. Probably curve it up. Yeah. With files. Next, what you do is you get 2 pieces of wood and you lay this on top of the flat piece of wood, or even a horn or whatever you want to use, and just draw out the shape of the handle that you want it to be, and then drill holes on the ends. And that's where the pegs are going to go through. And one on each end is going to make sure that handle don't move, along with the power. Okay, alright, let you in. Got my big bastard file, very rough. And I've been doing that for a while. I got a bevel on it, it's not sharp at all. It is. It's good. Got a thumb thing right there for shaving or whittling. But I gotta put an edge on it yet. And then work on the handle. So, next, I guess we gotta find some wood. This is the one I made out of the same steel. This is a PVC sheet, round PVC, cut one end, the open end, and then when you're going around, you leave a flap here so that it looks like this on the round part. Heat it up with a heat gun, flatten it out, pull this over and flatten it out. I found that if you cut these marks in there and push it in without the knife in it, it'll grab right a hold of the knife, so it won't fall out. See? It won't fall out. This was done the same way. This is my chopper. I tried some acid etching in there. You can barely see it, but the thing about it is it wasn't meant to hang on a wall or anything. It's getting used a lot. But yeah, my pride and joy. on some wood. It's not, I think it's, might even be softwood poplar or something, but it's perfect size for a handle. So I'm going to cut some wood off. Okay, close. Basically. Okay, to drill out, find the drill bit that matches as close as possible to the width of the brass. That's pretty close. Let's see if it'll work. Two parts that have to be mixed. Squeeze it out together. Can't use too much. Alright, I got the pins through. Now I gotta clamp it together as tight as I can get it. There it is. My handle looks like hell right now, but all of that is going to get stripped down, sanded down, and I have a handle to it. But that's it. And then obviously you file down or sand down the handle to fit. Cut off or sand down the brass rods or pins, and sand it down to fit your own palm. It's your own knife, so I'm not looking to give it away or anything like that. So it's just a whittling knife for myself. So I hope you enjoyed it. You know, if you did, leave a like. Thanks again for all the support. Thanks for watching. Take care.